Hello angels. Today we have a complete class on question tags. We're going to make question tags very simple and easy. We're going to discuss 10 simple rules of question tags and lots of examples. And you're not going to find this anywhere else. Plus, I will give you a bonus tip which will make you an advanced and natural speaker. Now I've summarized all this information in boxes. So as you go along, you can take screenshots. You've heard of question tags, haven't you? Some students find them confusing, don't they? No other YouTube video makes it so simple for you, does it? So, question tag is that small question that I put at the end of the sentence. This does not change the meaning of the original sentence. So why have it? Question tags are used in spoken English. Two big reasons. First, for confirming. You're coming to the party, aren't you? And second, for uncertainty. She's feeling better now, isn't she? Now, let's go over the 10 simple rules one by one. Rule number 1. Question tag always follows a sentence. Now, which of these two sentences is correct? Do you find this easy, don't you? Or, you find this easy, don't you? Well, the second one is correct and the first one is wrong. A sentence tag is always put at the end of a sentence and never at the end of a question. Rule number 2, the structure of a question tag. The question tag has two main parts, an auxiliary or modal verb plus a pronoun. First, the auxiliary or modal verb. In the question tag, we use the same exact auxiliary verb or modal verb that we found in the main sentence. Example, she can swim, can't she? They are coming to dinner, aren't they? Notice how can and are repeated in the question tag. Now spot the mistake in this sentence. She can sing, doesn't she? What is wrong here? Correction. She can sing, can't she? Now we must exercise, mustn't we? Say mustn't, not mustn't. Now look at this sentence. She might come. As per the rule, we are supposed to say she might come, mightn't she? But mightn't sounds really odd. So instead we end up saying she might come, don't you think? This is an exception. And now I'm going to give you one more exception. What if the main sentence does not have an auxiliary or a modal verb? Example, you like coffee. The main verb is like, but there is no modal verb, no auxiliary verb. So, how are we going to make a question tag here? We need to find the missing auxiliary verb. How do we do that? The trick is to make a negative sentence out of this. You like coffee in negative form becomes you don't like coffee. So, out comes the missing auxiliary verb, do. This sentence is actually you do like coffee. But we say in spoken English, you like coffee. And the question tag is going to be, you like coffee, don't you? So, she reads a book becomes, she reads a book, doesn't she? I have to give her a gift becomes, I have to give her the gift, don't I? Now spot the mistake. You like music, like you? What's wrong with that? You like music, don't you? So if there is no auxiliary verb, use do, does or did. And if you want to know more about these three little words, then I'm going to drop a link below to a detailed video explanation. Okay, so the second part of the question tag is the pronoun. The subject of the main sentence expressed as a pronoun. Example, you love mangoes, don't you? The subject is you, so the same you is used in the question tag. Anna doesn't like tea, does she? The subject is Anna, so her pronoun is she and that is used in the question tag. Now spot the mistake in this sentence. John is a great guy, isn't it? John is a great guy, isn't he? The subject of the main sentence is John, so the pronoun in the question tag should be he, isn't he? Okay, now that you know the basic structure of the question tag, let's move on to rule number 3. Positive sentences have negative question tags and negative sentences have positive question tags. This one is quite easy actually. Let's take a look at positive statements with negative tags. You're enjoying this class, aren't you? Positive statement with negative question tag. Same auxiliary verb is used, are. She speaks French, doesn't she? She is the subject and the same pronoun is used in the question tag. No auxiliary verb in the main sentence, so does is used in the question tag. And since the main sentence is positive, we say, doesn't she? They enjoyed the movie, didn't they? There was no auxiliary verb, so we use didn't in the question tag since the main sentence was in the past tense. Negative statements with positive question tags. You don't like chocolate, do you? Negative statement, positive question tag. Ooh, but I love chocolate, don't I? You is the subject of the main sentence and the same pronoun is used in the question tag. The students haven't finished their lesson, have they? Same auxiliary verb have is used in the question tag and the pronoun they is used for the plural subject students. Now, you won't forget to message me, will you? The negative form of will is won't. Great. So we have 3 rules done for question tags and now on to the detailed structure of question tags. The structure for positive sentences, statement plus comma plus auxiliary verb or modal verb plus N''T plus subject pronoun plus question mark. You work hard, don't you? Structure for negative sentences, statement plus comma plus auxiliary verb or modal verb plus subject pronoun plus question mark. She won't forget to call, will she? Rule number 4, same tense. This is an easy rule. The question tag is always in the same tense as the main statement. Example, she plays the piano, doesn't she? Present tense. I visited Paris last year, didn't I? Past tense. You will watch all my grammar videos, won't you? Future tense. Now, rule number 5, contracted forms. Question tags are used mostly in spoken English. So they often use contracted forms of the auxiliary verbs to create a more conversational tone. Example, you are happy, aren't you? She can dance, can't she? And the contractions typically used are listed here and you can take a screenshot. And now for the exception. If the subject is I, okay, take a look at this sentence. I'm your best friend. Now if you want to add a question tag to this, how are we going to do it? You can say, I'm your best friend, am I not? But it sounds very old-fashioned. Instead, we say, aren't I? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I'm teaching you a very important grammar topic today, aren't I? But what happens if the sentence is negative? Like, I am never angry. How are we going to put a question tag here? It would be, I'm never angry, am I? So this is becoming quite easy for you. Just take screenshots here for your reference. If the main sentence has I am, the question tag has aren't I. If the main sentence has I am not, the question tag has am I. Rule number 6, imperative sentences. Imperative sentences could be an order, an advice, a request or an instruction. This is very simple. For imperative sentences, the question tag uses either will you, won't you or would you. Examples, close the door, will you? Please pass the salt, will you? Stay a little longer, won't you? Persuasive request. Join us for dinner, won't you? Encouraging or inviting tone. Bring the book, would you? Super polite. Now for negative imperative sentences, use will you. Don't forget to call me, will you? Don't be late, will you? Rule number 7, double auxiliary verbs. What if a sentence has 2 auxiliary verbs? Example, I have been traveling a lot. The two auxiliary verbs are have and been. So what should the question tag be? Let's make this very simple. When there are two auxiliary verbs, use the first one. I have been traveling a lot, haven't I? Is correct. You have been working late, haven't you? The same rule for negative sentences. They haven't been eating well this past week, have they? You should have been there, shouldn't you? Same rule even for modal verbs. Rule number 8, negative words. Now take a look at this sentence. Nobody called you. What should the question tag be? Words like nobody, no one, nothing, no and never make the sentence negative. Therefore, we will have positive question tags. So, nobody called you, did they? You never lie, do you? Similarly, words like seldom, barely, hardly, scarcely, all these words make the sentence negative. So, they are going to have positive question tags. They could scarcely hear her, could they? He seldom arrives on time, does he? Rule number 9, indefinite pronouns. Words like everyone, everybody, someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, nothing, something, they're all indefinite pronouns. And grammatically, these are singular. But we don't know the gender. So in conversational English, they is used as a gender-neutral singular pronoun in the tag. Everyone is ready, aren't they? Someone has taken my pen, haven't they? Negative sentences, nobody called, did they? Certain indefinite pronouns, however, refer to objects rather than people, like something and nothing. For these, we're going to use it in the question tag. Nothing is impossible, is it? Something went wrong, didn't it? Rule number 10, use of there. When using there as a subject, use there in the tag. There's something in the box, isn't there? And now it's time for the bonus tip, which is intonation. So normally when we ask a question, our intonation or our tone goes up. Example, did you make notes while I was teaching? The tone is going up. Similarly, in question tags, when we are uncertain, we use a rising intonation. You didn't learn these 10 rules in class, did you? It's going to rain today, isn't it? But when we expect agreement or confirmation, we use a falling intonation. You found this class helpful, didn't you? And you have understood question tags, haven't you? You're going to ace your English exam, aren't you? And you are going to share this video with your friends, aren't you? And I'm going to see you in the next class, aren't I? Meantime, you will stay happy, cheerful and keep learning, won't you? Bye for now.